Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, guess what we're doing? We're going to be fixing a lawnmower. Picked this up on the side of the road, and the owner actually came out when I was loading it up and he said, hey, I switched to battery operated. I think he bought like an Ego or something, and he doesn't need it anymore. So we are going to fix this mower up. Hopefully we will. And we're going to put it on the market and make some money off of it. And I'm thinking we can probably sell it for $300-400 depending on if it works or not. I believe it does. He said he only had it for, let's say, a year, and it's been sitting, and it probably needs a carburetor clean. So haven't done one like this in a while. Shout out to Chaotic Twig. He said he wants some repair videos. So Chaotic, this one's for you. And stay tuned to the end because we do have some fan mail. All right, so stay tuned to the end. We're going to open that up, see what's inside. I don't know what's inside. It's a surprise. So we're all going to see it for the first time. All right, let's get into it. See if we can fix this thing up. This mower is actually one of my favorites. It's got a Briggs & Stratton engine. Love the design of the carburetor. Easy to get to. Only a few screws. It is a self-propelled, and it's got an electric start. And it comes with the charger and the side discharge and a bag. The bagger. That's the most important. So we're going to jump right into it. See if we can take off the air filter, see if it's got gas, shoot some carb cleaner, not starting fluid, carb cleaner, and fire it up, see if it'll fire. Man, I haven't repaired a mower like this in a while, so if I do something wrong, call me out in the comments, all right guys? All right, actually, before I get too ahead of myself, let's check the oil, all right? Because we don't want to start this thing if it doesn't have any oil in it. Never go off your first reading. Bring it all the way down in. And it looks like it could use a little bit of oil, as you could see on the bottom there. It's a little bit dry, could use a little bit of oil. So let's go ahead and add some oil to it. We're going to be throwing in some premium 4-cycle small engine oil, SA30 by Briggs & Stratton. Of course, brand new. Let me see if I have an open one. Here we go, all right. Let's go ahead and add just a little bit. That should be good. Give it about a minute to settle, and let's recheck our levels. And we are good. It's right at the bottom, so that's okay for it to just start. So let's go ahead and proceed. Let's check if it's got fuel in it. And it looks like it does not. So we're gonna go ahead and add some fuel. See if it'll fire up. Alright, so after like 10 hard pulls, I am determined that there is no fuel being allowed to go through the carburetor for it to start correctly. And what we're going to do to kind of prove it, well, let's check the filter. It's a little dirty. But what we're going to do next is we're going to shoot some carburetor cleaner through the carb itself and try to fire it up this way and see if any of the blockage might break or something, but I doubt it. I believe that there is something inside of the main jet of the carburetor. We'll talk about that later if we were gonna get into that, into cleaning the carburetor, which I believe we will. But let's shoot some in, try to fire it up again and see if it'll run. I believe it'll start and die, which means there is a blockage in the carb. We'll have to take it apart and clean it and then try it again. So let's go ahead and try to start it with the spray and go from there. let's do that one more time. Alright, so it starts and dies with the spray, and that spray is basically like a fuel replacement. You can use the spray to test your machine if it'll start and run by directly basically adding a fuel source through the carb instead of it going from the tank through the lines, through the main jet, and then into the carb. So that will give us, that all obviously gave us an indication that there's something wrong with the carburetor. So we're going to clamp off the fuel source so we don't make a big leak. We have 1 and 2 on this model. It's a 5/16 bolt. You use a 5/16 nut set like I'm doing. And this should come right off. Next we have the carb. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the fuel line. There is a fuel clamp here that you need some pliers to remove. And then you take your screwdriver, flathead preferably, and remove the fuel line. So on this particular model, we also need to remove this engine shroud here. And it's held on by 2 Phillips head screws. Once you remove those, it should come right off. The reason we need to remove it is because we need to remove this arm assembly here. This is for your choke and governor and a bunch of other components. This is, I believe, a 1/4 inch, if I remember correctly. If not, it's like a 7 or 8 millimeter. Let's try our 1/4 inch nut set. Looks like it'll work. So let's go ahead and remove that. And now we can remove the 2 3/8 bolts that are holding the carb to the engine compartment. And at this point in time, it's good to put on some gloves. I got these from Harbor Freight. They're like 7 mil thick. Whole box for like $15. Because you are going to have some fuel leaking out of the carb, and you don't want your hands and everything else to smell like gasoline. Plus, it's also not good. The gas on skin is not good. So here's the carb. Obviously has some gunk buildup, and I bet you there's old fuel in here. And here's their main jet. It's actually a bolt that travels through the center of the carburetor, and it allows fuel to be pushed from the emulsion tube, which is also in the middle of the carburetor. And if that is clogged, it's not going to allow your mower to start. So that's what problem we're having right now, and we're going to go ahead and clean this carb up. Take my some compressed air and blow off this debris while kind of covering the holes here. Alright, next thing we're going to do is clean that main jet. So we have a 1/2 inch socket. I just have a shallow socket. This was, I was using this for small engine work, so still have it to this day. And yeah, you do have some fuel leaking out. Just clean that up when you're done. You take that 1/2 inch socket and remove the main jet. Once you remove the main jet, here it is, you can remove the float bowl. And yeah, yellow, old, gross fuel. Let's go ahead and clean this mess up. Alright, we're going to take out this needle here. If yours is seized, you can lightly tap it out. We're going to take the float out, and also you have a needle. So you have the needle, the float, and a pin. You have your main jet, and you have your carburetor. If you are using some carb choke parts cleaner, you want to remove this rubber float bowl gasket before you spray it on there, because it could, you know, stretch it out and cause leaks. Come on, there we are. So remove this. Now we are ready to clean the outside of the carburetor, and make sure you are outside or in a well ventilated room when you are doing this. Let's go ahead and spray this down. as best we can. Get this gasket out of here. This gasket is actually for this side here. I forgot to remove it. And let's go ahead and compress or blow some compressed air at this as well. After you got it fairly cleaned, what I like to do next is make sure you can see through this emulsion tube here and this hole here, that's where your needle goes. And what we're going to be doing is simply shining some light through these holes. So as you can see, when I move the light, and this is where your fuel goes, this is your fuel intake. When I shine the light, you can see directly through the hole. There's also a rubber gasket in there, or an O-ring, and I forgot to tell you, you need to be careful with that as well when you do your spraying. Sorry guys. There is a tool you can remove. You probably don't have access to the tool, so it's best just not to remove it. But again, it's up to you. It's your choice. You can be careful and not remove it. So yeah. But anyways, just shine my light. Hopefully the camera catches it. Well, I can see that it's... Can I get it? Kind of hard with all these butterflies. Alright, there it is. You can see the light passing through. The holes are clear, so we should be good to move on to cleaning the main jet. So here's the main jet, and before we clean it, there's one hole here and one hole on the opposite side. As you can see, those holes are clean and clear. But here's the hole that allows gas to be pushed through into the middle of the carb, through the emulsion tube, and into the carb, into the engine for it to start the machine. If we take a flashlight and try to shine through this hole, see if the camera will focus. You can barely, just barely see through it. That means there's something that's blocking this hole here, and all we have to do is grab some wire and push it through and clean it. So you grab some wire, push it all the way through. As you can see, the wire is now directly all the way through there. Move it around a bit, spray some carburetor cleaner, spray some compressed air through the holes. And that's really all that we need to do in order to clean the holes. As you can see, it's getting much better. We should probably do it a few more times to be on the safe side, but now you can really see through it. Alright, I cleaned it a few more times. Let's see what our results are. So there we are. You can see directly through the hole. Perfect, right there. Alright, now let's go ahead and reassemble the carburetor. I forgot to mention about this float bowl. It also needs a little bit of cleaning. You can use our rag or something to clean off the outside. And remember, it's very important to clean the inside of it too. You don't want no gunk, no debris to be floating around after you've just cleaned the carburetor. Right? You don't want that main jet to clog. Perfectly clean. Now let's reassemble the carb. So we got our float bowl gasket, we have our float, and we also need our needle. Okay, so this can get a little tricky, but you're going to take the float, make sure it's like this, take that needle and slide it back like so. Now you're holding both of those, and you take your carburetor, and that needle is going to go right of course on camera it's harder to do. You're going to take it and drop the needle. Well, that won't work. Alright, so the needle's going to go in here while it's attached to the float. Let's see if I can do it. Well, try not to focus on the camera angle. Alright, so it's in there. Take your pin, feed it directly through, center it out just like so, and now you take your float bowl, make sure you got this gasket here, take your main jet, and tighten it with a ratchet. Just make sure it's nice and snug. Remember this O-ring right here? This is going to go on the back side of this tube. Like so. And now what we're going to do is we're going to install this governor arm here. And there's a hole right here. Not this one, but this one. And you're going to feed the governor arm through the hole like that at this angle. Push it all the way back and then slowly bring it up. If it's not going, don't force it until it easily goes all the way up by itself. Another quick trick is you can install the fuel line by hand. And now take this carb and place it on like so. Take the bolts and thread them on by hand. And then take your 3/8 nut set or socket and tighten up the bolts. Do not forget about this arm here. What you have to make sure is this arm goes on top like that, and it goes right in between this opening. So this little part goes right in between the two openings here, and that controls your choke. Let's go ahead and slide the fuel clamp back on, and you can at this point you can remove your fuel vice grips or whatever you used to block off the fuel line. All right, now let's go outside, test it, and see if it'll fire up. Wouldn't hurt to put that engine shroud cover back on too. So after having it run for a bit, I'm determined that we fixed the issue. Now we can reassemble the engine air filter. And what we're going to do is just blow off all of this debris right here that builds up on the backside, and blow off some of this debris right here. All right, now we are ready to reinstall this air filter assembly. We're just going to line it up and get our 5/16 screws and tighten up the air filter assembly to the carburetor. And of course, we ought to replace the air filter. Part number 491588S. It's going to go on like so, like that. All right, well, just like that, we fixed it. Next, oh man, do I not have any? Oof, I'm all out of seafoam. No other fuel additive? Well, if I had some, I would use some, but I don't have any seafoam. So we're not going to add some seafoam to this motor, but we did use ethanol-free fuel, which should give us enough time for it to be on the market and sell without having to stabilize the fuel for like the winter or something. But it's a good additive, a good fuel cleaner. Seafoam, check it out. But let's go ahead. We just installed the air filter. Let's go ahead and test it out. I'm happy when things work out. Got a free mower and it starts, and the electric start works as well. So we got a nice mower to sell on the market. We're gonna probably get $300 or $400. It's got a bag, it's got electric start, and it's basically brand new. We're just gonna sharpen the blade as well, but we'll do that later. We don't wanna do that in this video. It's already long enough. So guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It did also have a little bit of like backfiring. Well, I wouldn't call it backfiring. It was like surging a bit. So I'm gonna go to my local AutoZone or O'Reilly's or whatever and get some seafoam. Throw it in here, run it for a day, let it sit for 24 hours, and it'll probably clear out and run like tops after that. But again, man, it's so nice. Free mower on the side of the road. Be sure, if you're on the lookout for a mower and you can't afford one, scope out the neighborhood and see if anyone has one for free that's on the side of the road. You'll be surprised. Some people throw away things that just need to be cleaned like we did here, all right? So, and I know a lot of people are converting to battery operated electric mowers to get away from the gas, but let me know if you guys still use gas powered mowers. Let me know in the comments down below. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and open up our fan mail. All right, here we go. Fan mail. This is actually from Walter. That reached out to me, said he's got something in the mail for me. So we finally got it, Walter. Let's see what you sent us. Hopefully it's nothing bad. Again, I didn't even check this. He didn't tell me what was going to be in it. So let's find out together. You guys ready? It's a box. No, just kidding. Man, there's a lot of things in here. All right, there's a letter. Let me see. Let me read it and see what this is all about. Walter, I just read your letter, and it's awesome that you and your son were able to start up a business and make him some part-time cash on the side. And best of luck to him in his business. Thank you so much for the letter. I read it all, and I see that it's dated August 3rd. It's like August 12th now, and I just got the package, so you know how long it took to ship. But again, thank you so much, Walter, and God bless you as well and your family. All right, let's go ahead and open this up and see what Walter has sent us. First one. I don't know if I probably shouldn't cut directly into it. So let's just go ahead and, in the manly fashion, rip it all apart. Like Christmas in August. So, he said, oh, okay, so he wrote, wow, this is amazing. Walter actually makes does custom leather work, and these are passport cases for your trip to Paris with your wife. Hey, maybe, Walter, maybe, but that is amazing. I've never had anyone gift me leather work. This is awesome. Very nicely done. Thank you so much. And another one. This is like a softer leather. I actually like the softer ones, to be honest. This is nice. All right, let's see what is in this one here. We're just going to tear right into it, because I don't want to cut and make any sudden marks in his masterpiece. Oh wow. Is there a sticky note? No? Okay. Nice. So this is, I'm guessing, just like a journal. Things to write into. Awesome. I'll actually use this for like Bible studies. So thank you again so much. Here's another one. My wife can use this one. Oh. What's this? Oh, okay. Oh, I definitely like it. There's no need for a refund or anything. And let's see this one here. Oh, awesome. So this is like a mini wallet. I've actually been wanting one of these, something really small, because I use this one here, and it's a little bit big, so this one will be a lot better. Well, I have my idea. Yeah, I'll transfer the stuff over later, but this is awesome. A little to-go wallet. Great. And we got one more piece here. Wow, that's great. Another one. So yeah, thank you so much, Walter. I can't thank you enough. I mean, I don't know if I did that or not. I'm sorry. I don't think I did that mark. But either way, truly amazing work. Guys, tell Walter he did an amazing job. Walter, if you did all this, man, you're just a master at work. I mean, this is incredible. This takes skill. Like you say that we did a great job on our editing and producing the video. Producing this material and doing this kind of leather work is just unbelievable. I've never done anything like this in my life, and neither has my father or grandparents. So this is a first for me of all this custom work. So thank you again so much, Walter. I appreciate it, guys. Let Walter know he did an amazing, fabulous job with all this, and I'm gonna put all of this to good use. Had a lot of fun creating this video, and I love creating these videos as well. Like the repair videos I used to do a while ago, and so Chaotic Twig kind of got me back into it. So there you go, Chaotic Twig, this video is for you, the repair video. But again, big thank you to Walter. Guys, if you want to send me something, I'll have a link in the description down below of an address. It's my P.O. box of where you can send me items, stickers, whatever you want, send me. And I'll do some fan mail, because now with this channel, I'll be doing more kind of like the mail calls and all that, and more repair videos and everything behind the scenes of Phil's Lawn Care. So everything that you won't see on the main channel, you'll see here. Thank you guys so much. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.